I'm Jack Reilly. I just want to say a few words, very few, about Dennis James Denji Colichio. As I prepared for this, I asked Dennis to send me over a couple of notes about his things I should be mentioning. I ran out of paper printing it. I had to change the ink cartridge in my printer, and I fell asleep by the time I got to the third grade. So I have a copy of that outside if anyone would like to see it, but Dennis will be signing copies if you'd like. Dennis was born on Thanksgiving Day in 1955. A small turkey to be sure, but full of stuffing. I guess that day Duke was really surprised what came out of the oven.
Oh.
What, did I say that?
Yeah.
Named after a famous TV personality, Dennis James.
What came out of the oven? I don't know if that is.
Dennis was raised in a busy home across the street from the school. 3 brothers and 2 sisters. He got his name Denji because his mother used to call out, "Dennis James, get in here!" And his brothers and sisters, they just couldn't say Dennis James. They said Denji, Denji. And that's where the nickname came from. He was known throughout the neighborhood. Whenever Dennis went out to play, his mother would open the door and there he went out. The neighbors would see him coming. They'd pull down the shades, lock the doors, and made believe they weren't home. Dennis quickly became part of the St. Joseph community. When he was in the first grade, the age of 7, he was an altar boy at the 7 o'clock Mass in the convent chapel. Now, Dennis used to go over about 20 to 7, march over from his house, and he'd put his cassock on, and the first thing that happened was they had to pin him up because he was a little bit too long. But that went on for quite a few years. Dennis was a person to be relied on. He continued his relationship with the good sisters throughout his career in grammar school at St. Joseph's. He was well loved and well remembered, and that's where he got his name, Dennis the Menace. He had a wonderful smile, and when I met with Sister Mary Ann a few weeks ago, she remembered Dennis, and she remembered that wonderful smile, and she says, give him my best, and that he still owes that homework assignment. Dennis, stand up. Give us a look at that smile. Dennis, sit down. We honor him not for that smile, but for the giving of himself to the parish, the community, his work. Did I say work? Let's get this straight. Dennis, he is a piece of work. But let me explain. W-O-R-K, 4 letters, which give it just a hint of who Dennis is. Wonderful. To be with, a pleasing disposition, a tune on his lips and in his heart. Ask him and he will break into a tune. Do wop wop wop. Speaking of song, Dennis is a founding member of the Doo Wop Oldies group Somewhere in Time, which, by the way, will be playing at the Patchogue Theater at the end of this month. Dennis has flyers to hand out. And they have one solo song which Dennis sings, and that is Far, Far Away. He's observant. He sees the opportunity to serve and help others. Here in the parish, in the community, and at Stony Brook Hospital, where he worked for all those years. Numerous examples are there, but one I really was very, very taken with was we installed the TVs in the children's ward at the hospital. He organized a dawn concert to help raise funds for special needs people. And this past weekend, he spearheaded a fundraiser at the Patchogue Bowling Alley to help a young lady with cerebral palsy. And he really scored a 300 with that one. He's reliable. 30 years of working for Stony Brook, spent with the Hageman Fire Department, and he's a charter member of the St. Joseph the Worker Knights of Columbus. Reliable. When there was a problem with the lighting at the St. Joseph's opportunity, they relied on Dennis to work with LIPA. He changed all the lights, and he managed to realize significant cost savings for the parish. One thing is, you can always rely on Dennis. When the bus leaves for Aqueduct, the bus is going to leave at 7:30. You can be sure the bus leaves at 7:30. Finally, he's kind. Dennis is one of a kind. When that turkey was born in 55, they threw away the recipe. He's a gentle touch and a warm heart, always giving, doing the little things for other people. that make life enjoyable for all. He really is a piece of work. I asked Dennis who was his mentor. Who kept him focused and in the right direction. He told me Father Mike Connolly. But Dennis is not a solo act. We must honor his wife of 37 years, Diane, and his two children, Ryan and Caitlin. They are a team. There are so many stories to tell about Dennis, but I have to go now. We are proud to honor Dennis at this event, and I am proud to call him my friend. Thank you.